And it boils down to the most simple thing that you could do that makes one of the biggest impacts that you could make. And that is simply writing a letter. I've been making videos for 8 years now, which is unbelievable. And I have been afforded the absolute privilege to have this channel and work with brands and get paid by brands and advertise for brands and travel the world and do incredible things and have fans. People that admire my work, that watch my videos and give me their time. And that is one of the biggest honors that I will ever have in my career. And I often think about how I can express my gratitude to the brands and the fans and the people I've worked with and the people I come in contact to on a daily basis. And it is one of those 80-20 aspects that you put in 20% of the work to yield 80% of these results. It is the smallest detail that makes the biggest waves. Writing a letter will not only improve your life, but it'll improve your business. It'll improve your relationships, and it sounds random, and it sounds weird, and it sounds unrelated to anything photography or video that we've typically talked about on this channel. Okay, so I am a bit of a nerd, a lot of a nerd, so bear with me on this process, but I've got several things to show you, and I have so much fun with it. So there's a lot of different steps. Let me introduce you to the 2 blue cases that are paramount at the beginning of this process. So I started with ink pads. Got a little red one, got a black one, and I got 2 custom-made rubber stamps. This one I got made to look kind of like a passport stamp, and I would start every journal by stamping, and you overlap them so it looks legitimate, like an actual passport stamp. And then eventually I just printed those on my own cardstock so I didn't have to stamp it anymore. Now this is a pretty thick paper, like it's very high quality paper. We got the hot foil stamped logo at the top and at the bottom, kind of like a fancy letterhead here. And when you get typewriter ink on this thing and then you hand sign it, you've got different colors. It's chef's kiss. It is honestly so immensely satisfying. It doesn't matter what your creative vocation is, be it that it's photography or video or you're a musician or anything at all. It doesn't even matter if you're in the creative field. I just think as someone who wants to be proficient in business, in running their own company, has their own company, wants to move up in a company, anything at all, this right here will absolutely improve everything. Sometimes I drop a business card in too. I still use business cards and I give them away, more like calling cards. I've been like that since I was a kid. I've always loved it and I still love it and I still do it. And I know you can tap your phone and do the whole like where the phone's files get transferred, and that's great. I don't do that. I would rather hand you a card. Maybe you throw it away, maybe you don't. If you throw it away, you don't care and I don't care. I made them so the back has an empty spot. I could just draw a happy face. I could write my phone number. I could write a message. I could say hello. I could do whatever I want and leave it to you, and that is open for me to interpret, which I love. So I've been lucky enough to have fans all over the world that love what I do, which is wild to me. And sometimes those fans want pictures if I meet them in real life, or they want to chat, or they send emails, and sometimes they ask for autographs, which it's crazy. I'll never understand it. I'll never get used to it. It is wild. And I got an email from a guy recently. His name was Quinn. And Quinn said, I'm a huge fan and I'm a photographer in Florida and I collect autographs and was hoping to add yours to my collection. So I'm not just gonna send Quinn an autograph. I'm gonna write him a letter. Something, hopefully, that I do believe he will keep for the rest of his life, because every single person that I've sent one of these to in the last 5 years has kept it. And they followed up with either a video or a string of texts and photos about how wild it is what I just sent them. Okay, step number 1, a high quality box. This is Trusco. I actually bought this thinking it was a Toyo box. Those are Japanese steel toolboxes. And then I use them in that back shop to organize all kinds of just random bits, washers, screws, stickers, whatever. Everything has its own place. But this box is specifically for stationery goods. Everything I could possibly need to do like crafty letters and stuff. Probably overkill, but as you might have noticed, I'm really into this stuff. Stuff like Sharpies, rulers, ink for fountain pens. I've got all these colorful rolls of tape that you can tape stuff into a journal with. Post-its, box of my favorite pens, gold Sharpies to write on my business cards, nib cleaner. This might be my favorite thing ever, double-sided Scotch tape. But today, we aren't using any of this stuff because we just need a typewriter. Nowadays, everything is so electronic. Wedding invites, party invites, any kind of invite is sent via a group text message or an email or something online. And we've lost that magical tactile touch. I mean, heck, most people can't even write with a pen moderately nice. Now, as you've seen this year and the last year, I've taken the initiative to journal more, write in notebooks, to-do lists, thoughts, practice my penmanship, these types of skills that are just fewer and fewer and fewer in the digital age that we live in. And it's been very gratifying. That's bled into my creative process with shooting analog. The whole idea of slowing down has drastically improved all my other senses in the creative world. So I started writing letters. Thank you letters. Thanks for the hangout. Thanks for letting me stay at your place. Hey, really appreciate the pair of boots. Haven't heard from you in a while, just thought I'd send you a letter. Love what you've been posting online. Whatever I think that I might want to DM somebody or text somebody, I've been doing that analog instead. Full disclosure, I'm not doing this every single day. If every thought of mine that I wanted to convey via text happened via actually typing on a typewriter or writing someone a letter, I would be stuck in the 1800s. Box aside, a typewriter is probably where we're also gonna start. Now I've got 3 different typewriters to choose from. Yes, 3. 3 different typefaces. One is cursive, one is a classic serif, and the other is a non-serif, more modern, Vogue typeface. It does look great. I just go by the visual. I love it. That's why I got it. But I think for this one, we're gonna go with this 1950s Torpedo from West Germany, which does a cursive typeface. So 5 years ago, I had my own stationery made. One of my friends, he sent me a letter and it came in this beautiful envelope.
I don't know why, I've just always had this obsession with all things analog. Everything else in our lives today is so digital. Our phones, keys, our light switches, our cameras.
I remember being blown away, opening the envelope up, looking at all the little details, and the feeling that gave me was that of immediate, I need to be doing this.
My dad is a dentist, and when I was 10 years old, I remember seeing him handwriting these thank you notes to his dental patients. These were like a full page long, 2 pages long, and I remember saying like, Dad, why are you handwriting these? We got a printer. It'd be so much faster, right? It took me 25 years to fully understand why he was doing it that way. If something's analog, it suddenly makes the message, the same message, have so much more meaning.
Maybe it's a thank you card, could just be a note card that's in a handwritten letter. Maybe it's a postcard. But those things existed and still exist for a reason, because they're thoughtful.
Fast forward years later to Theory 11, and we obsessed over every aspect, from the gold foil, the exact tone foil stamping that we use, the depth of the embossing, to the exact type of substrate that we're using to print on. And I realized that to 99% of people, those details would be completely unnoticeable.
I had my own note cards made by that same friend that sent me his letter. He owns a company called Theory 11. They do beautiful work, they make beautiful decks of cards. We did a pirate themed deck with Pete's Pirate Life and Theory 11, which is great. You can still find it on their website. He was able to make me the most beautiful stationery you've ever seen. These were done on old school pneumatic presses, probably some of the last working machines like this in the USA. Painstakingly tedious to make, but that's what makes them great. It's the little details. Listen to that. Oh, May 1st, comma, 2025. Okay, you always start with the date. Dear Quinn. There is an explicit feeling that you get when you open your mailbox and you see an actual letter, not a bill, not an invoice, but an actual card with your name handwritten on it and some stamps, and you can see that it's traveled the world. When you get something like that, your interest is immediately piqued. The first check comes out kind of weird. You kind of gotta bend it back. Sometimes need something, was it straight? Straight enough, it's like a little crooked. And believe me, there are times where I would look at this and think, gotta do it again. But I think that's a little bit of the imperfection that is a typewriter, that it's just sometimes a little off, you might make a typo. I'm pretty happy with that. As a content creator online, we can sometimes get inundated with free products and brands sending us things to make videos about, and that is how we make our living. But it's easy to get lost in that process and just keep getting things, and you get used to the mail arriving, and you get used to all these things showing up that you have to make content about. But when you really step back and look at it, that is such a blessing. That is such a incredible, privileged position to be in, where brands are treating us this way. Not many people are actually saying thank you to those brands, be it that it yields something that's beneficial to you or not, or you make money from it, or the relationship continues. I would wager that the deals are kind of just like, it happens, something's sent, you make it, you're done, you move on. But just saying thank you. Thank you to the people that are sending you these products, that are enabling you to make these videos, that enable you to have a living. You'd be surprised at how far that goes. This is a weird video to make. It's super random, and it has nothing to do with photography, really. And it has nothing to do with any of the topics that I typically talk about on this channel. But at the same time, it has everything to do with every topic I talk about on this channel, because it is at its very core creative. I think what it comes down to is practicing gratitude, being grateful, and being kind. And those things, where we'd like them to come naturally, sometimes they have to be practiced. And doing this and implementing this into my life has helped those areas of my life massively. As much fun as it is for someone to receive, I had maybe even more fun putting it together. My friend Andrew Wilson, who tattoos next door to my studio here, so he drew me as Woody, and we made stickers. I just think are the most funny stickers ever, and I only send them out with letters, so. And there you have it. And I can feel good knowing that, like, I put my heart and soul into something. And recently my sister asked me, like, did you put your heart and soul into it? And I said no. And the results that I was looking for this particular topic we were discussing weren't there. And it really made me think, when you put your heart and soul into something, it truly does make a difference. And this right here, folks, this is my heart and soul. Just practicing kindness, being nice, sending thoughtful letters and things because you can, because people are still here to send things to. That is a privilege, and it's an absolute honor to be able to send this to Quinn, and I'm already looking forward to making the next one. That's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. I'm gonna start filming it tomorrow. I've emerged from the cave, okay? I have returned. I'm like Simba coming back out of the jungle. My friends, I saw there was a new Lion King coming out, like, as the Mufasa story was.